Come on Sheffield, come on Sheffield, yellow and blue, yellow and blue. Come on Sheffield, come on Sheffield, yellow and blue, yellow and blue.
He was a character and got better at being a character. I said, did you ever go to school, Shawn, then? And he said, yeah, I was teacher's pet. I said, oh, were you? He said, yeah, she kept me outside in a cage. I said, well, that's about right. I said, are you all right, Shawn? Yeah. I said, well, unfortunately, you're excluded. And he said, am I excluded? What for? What? Excluded? Why me? You know, and he was a fierce competitor even then, you know, as a youngster. And I said, well, unfortunately, Shawn, you know, in Speedway, you are supposed to turn left. And unfortunately, you didn't turn at all. You went straight. He said, yeah, but they all fell off. I said, but why did they fall off? He fell off as well, by the way. I said, because there was nowhere else to go.
Good start there for Shawn Wilson. Steady left, right at the back. Chesler is to lead, but here comes Alan Rossiter down the inside. Well, Shawn Wilson doing well to hang on to second place. And Wilson goes right between both the riders. And that really is an incredible picture to see. And Shawn Wilson riding with all the skill, all the ability and all the confidence that he had before his injuries. And here comes Chesler around the outside, and we really do have some excellent speedway here. Chesler and Wilson. It's a Swindon man who's got the advantage at the moment, but Wilson's far from finished, although here comes Alan Rossiter. And we thought the last race was good, this one's even better. And Wilson trying the outside, he's going to switch down the inside as his teammates have been doing that all night. There goes Roscoe down the inside. This race really is worth the admission money alone, and there goes Shawn Wilson down the inside. He moves Chesler wide, and it looks as if he's going to take this one on the line. What a performance from Shawn Wilson.
And we are going to go into a last seat decider if it stays like this. So the combination of Neil Evans and Peter Carr really performing.
Yeah, it's brilliant. There's a really big crowd. I think they've got as many in as they could get in. It's really good. I hope it stays like this all the time.
No speedway in Sheffield for 2 years. Under the Taylor report, following the Hillsborough disaster, which was only a quarter of a mile up the road, so obviously the venue at Allerton came under scrutiny. In those days I needed 1,100 people through the gates to break even. Of course, we'd got the best stadium in British Speedway. The landlords who owned Allerton Stadium and spent millions of pounds on the corporate facilities and stuff, which gave me a great platform to work from, I can assure you.
Nobody had to ask where the money was at Sheffield. Nobody at all had to ask. They knew where it was.
Yeah, I wish I didn't leave Sheffield like I did, for them buying me, and then I do 2 months and bail. And I called on the day I couldn't ride after I did those 2 months. Called Neil. NEIL MACHIN. People had asked, like Bobby Hammond called me and asked, hey, why don't you go to a psychiatrist? It might help, you know, or talk to some people, whatever. And it wouldn't have mattered. It was just something came over me.
Did you feel that you let Sheffield down?
I felt so embarrassed and bad. Yeah. But I couldn't go back. I lost it.
But their lifestyle, you know, were to be who they were, you know, and I don't think whoever tried would have changed them. You know, I used to tell them, if you earn £1, you want to spend 50 pence back on your bike, you want to spend 25 pence on having a bit of fun, and you want to save 25 pence for when it all finishes. Because I don't care who you are, it will finish. And then after it's been finished, you look back and think how easy it was to earn this money.
I did like 2 or 3 seasons riding with them, and they looked after me fully. And listen, I couldn't learn anything more from the Morans than what I actually got from the Morans. The experience and what they brought over, right, was still what I carried into my leadership when I started at Sheffield. I did like a 7-year reign at Sheffield before I retired, and it was lovely to take that reign of I kind of become #1 at Sheffield in the Premier Division, and it was lovely to take that reign over as being a #1 there, because I remember how Shoe was my #1, and everything I kind of learnt was from the Moran brothers.
But I tried my best for Sheffield Speedway, and that's all I did.
When I stopped riding, it was a big thing, because I was going out to watch and coming home, there were no bikes at the back of my car. I thought, you know, what's going off here? That was part of the evening, you know, after riding, shower and upstairs, have a few beers, and talk to the fans and sponsors, and you know, they got really good times. I wouldn't have swapped it for nothing. It's well, I'm Sheffield through and through. Obviously, you know, I spent so many years there. And
here come the Tigers, Sheffield Tigers, sing for the Tigers. This is your team. They are blue and they are yellow. Always
happy days, Reg, eh?
it was happy days, yeah.
Sheffield Tigers.